Gijs Kappers is joining me in studio. He's going to introduce us to Wyzetalk. Now, this is an application that will allow you to introduce enterprise social networking to your business. Hello.
Hello, Jenna. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Now, we're going to be talking Wyzetalk today.
That's
Why
right.
don't you introduce us to what it is?
Cool. So Wyzetalk is a locally developed product in South Africa. We came up with a concept about 2.5 years ago around the importance of communicating, ideating inside a business, and therefore formulating more efficient and innovative idea practices within a business structure. So the look and feel of the platform is not unlike a Facebook environment, but really you're creating a private ecosystem for your business. You invite your staff into that. You can create open and private groups. You upload documents, you can upload pictures, and it's really about the idea of of a closed ecosystem whereby people can communicate privately, that they can share these ideas, and that those ideas will formulate more efficient business practices over time.
Now, does it work like Facebook? Can anyone go on and sign up and make an account?
Sure. So anybody can sign up. You'll go to our website, wyzetalk.com. You can create a community, and you then invite people into that community. Once the people have accepted their invitation, you can then give them certain profile rights. So some people can become administrators, other people can become super users, etc., etc. And depending on the profile type, people will be able to create groups. They'll be able to do a lot more functionality than just general users.
All right.
But the idea is that it really becomes a knowledge repository for your business over time.
Well, it seems like Facebook and some other social networks like Google Plus do offer some similar functions. What separates Wyzetalk from these?
So the biggest and primary difference with Facebook and Google and all of the others compared to us is that the data with those, the data inside Facebook and the data inside Google Plus or Twitter or any one of those other social networks actually belong to those businesses. We believe that that's a problem. We believe that if you're going to create business-centric conversation and it's going to be about your business, you want it to be about your business, and that nobody else really has a view to it. So inside Wyzetalk communities, if you were to search for me on the net, you'd obviously find out that I'm part of LinkedIn and a couple of other social sites, but you won't see that I'm a member of certain Wyzetalk communities, because as far as the world is concerned, they don't even exist. So you only have a view to a Wyzetalk community once you're invited into it. And then the discussions that happen are completely confidential to that business.
Okay, now what are the privacy settings like? Because I can imagine that there would be potential with so much secure information being transferred back and forth. There would be potential for the information to get into the wrong hands. What are the privacy settings?
Sure. So I think one primary aspect is understanding the culture of your business, right? I mean, the same is true of email. If you're going to be distributing business-centric stuff around email, and you've got a concern that that might be shared with the wrong people, then it's probably a cultural problem in your business rather than a software problem. But that being said, restrictions can be made in terms of what access people have to which groups they can see and which ones they can't. So an executive group, for instance, or a board of directors would be a private closed group, and unless you're invited to that group, you wouldn't have a view to it. So you wouldn't have a view to the documents that would be uploaded, to the management packs that would be uploaded. The view really is around understanding the culture of the business, and if the culture of the business is a trusted one, and that you believe that your people are the right people to employ in your business, then yeah, we've got over a few hundred communities running now with some blue chip clients. This has never been a problem. So there's never been an instance where there's been sharing communication with somebody that you shouldn't share it with.
Now, what about people who are not part of the social network? What are the chances of it getting hacked? Like, what kind of security measures are put in?
So it's a good question.
List?
I think we've taken security extremely seriously. So we do, on a quarterly basis, we do external penetration tests, and we've just started conducting internal penetration tests as well to make sure that people inside the system aren't able to hack. And fortunately, we've been, we've got really good coders. We're born and bred South Africans in Stellenbosch, and we've got an amazing team. And we've created world-class software. So it's improbable that anybody would be able to get through our system.
Wow. Now, how long has Wyzetalk been up and running
for? So
we've
been going for ostensibly since about November 2012.
Okay.
I wrote my master's thesis on the topic. I got in I got an amazing partner on board. We raised some funding and actually got our first real clients in November 2012. So ever since then, we've been developing the product, improving it, getting our mobile aspect sorted out properly. So we have on any device now, provided you've been allowed access into a Wyzetalk community, you can communicate on any device and any tablet. So we've seen significant growth over the last 12 to 18 months. And in the process of signing some more serious blue chip companies. So yeah, it's been an exciting ride.
Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Now, is this the way forward? Do you think that social networks like Facebook and Google Plus are going to kind of start doing this as well, making private communities?
But I think the view is that if one understands, how young people today communicate, they use email as an authenticator, but they don't use it to communicate. And in fact, email is a terrible way to communicate. By the time you've gone to the 4th or 5th iteration of a reply to all, you've actually forgotten about the context of what this email or that was about in the first place. And it's extremely heavy on data. Whereas in our environment, you're only going to write about something when you've thought about what you're writing about, because it's going to a broader group of people. And people will respond once they've thought about what they were responding to. So it's got a much more sincere aspect to it. And our view really is that people prefer communicating in this kind of way rather than email. And the push really is understanding, obviously, the massive success of Facebook in the marketplace, that people have a will and want to communicate in a different way. And we're trying to emulate that within closed business environments.
Do you think this will replace email one day?
Hopefully. I think the statistics are from the United States, from Gartner and McKinsey's, are that companies that have deployed enterprise social networking products, so we're not the only ones, we're the only ones proudly South African, but there are 2 or 3 other major players in the United States. But the view is that statistically email drops by about 28% inside enterprises. So we've seen evidence of that through some of our clients, not quite as much as 28%, but certainly in the region of about 18 to 22% drop in email use, which is obviously tremendous, so people aren't being flooded with a couple of hundred emails a day. And the great thing is that conversations form part of the knowledge of the business over time. So whereas emails generally sit on people's inboxes, in a Wyzetalk instance, you can search for people's skills, you can search for their expertise, you can search for conversation threads. So the knowledge sharing aspect about what we're trying to enunciate inside those communities is much more prolific.